Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Navin, and today we'll continue with our series 500 Most Expected CAT Questions for 2023. And today we are going to continue with our 8th part of this series related to LRDI. Okay, like every other session related to LRDI, we have looked at 2 sets and we have tried to solve them using pure concept. Wherever the calculation is required, we have understood how to go about this. So today we are going to continue with the same series, same types of sets. Today we are going to look at binary logic, and we are going to look at a normal linear arrangement. Okay, so let's begin. So this is the first set. For this, I'll have to go invisible so that you guys can see. Okay. So the set says a supermarket has to place 12 items coded A to L in shelves numbered 1 to 16. 5 of these items are types of biscuits, 3 are types of candies, and the rest are types of savories. Well, if you talk about there are 16 shelves, right? And there are 12 items. And if you talk about biscuits, we're going to use the letter B for that. There are 5 of them, right? There are 3 types of candies. For candies, we are going to use C for them. And this is going to be 3. And rest are savories. So if you talk about savories, we will use the letter S for that. Total we need is 12. So the remaining 4 are going to be savories. Okay, next, only one item can be kept in a shelf. Items are to be placed such that all items of same type are clustered together with no empty shelf between items of the same type and at least one empty shelf between 2 different types of items. So what do we know about this statement? What does this statement tell us? This tells us that if you're going to put biscuits, they are going to be placed one after another. There should not be any empty shelf between any 2 biscuit counters. Okay, and if I'm supposed to put now, let's say savories, so I can't put savories right beside it. There is going to be at least one blank shelf. Okay, between biscuits and savories, but now savories are going to be in continuity. Okay, so it's like similar items, they are to be placed together. And dissimilar items, they are supposed to have a gap of at least one shelf. That's what the statement is talking about. Also, it says at most 2 empty shelves can have consecutive numbers. So it means that we can have 2 empty shelves. Consecutive numbers as in they are going to be consecutive, right? One after another. The following additional facts are known. A and B are to be placed in consecutively numbered shelves in increasing order. I and J are to be placed in consecutively numbered shelves, both higher number order than the shelves in which A and B are kept. D, A, F are savories, and so on and so forth. So having read few of these statements and having solved similar questions before, we know that there are 2 attributes here. The first attribute is shelf number, and in that shelf number, it's about which item we are placing, right? Now, the item has got a name and then the item has got the type, right? For example, let's say, like it says D is a savory. So if I'm going to put the item name D, its type is savory, right? And the shelf number is, let's say the shelf number is 11 for this. So there are 3 attributes overall, wherein the second attribute, item, it has got a name and a type. Now, since out of these 3 attributes, one attribute is numerical and everything is going to be arranged as per the shelf number. So we are supposed to have a table where we will be writing down all the shelf numbers from 1 to 16. And then we'll be placing down the names and the types of the items that the supermarket is going to keep, right? Okay. So let's do one thing. Let's fill this up. Let's draw a table like that, and I will unhide myself. Okay. So a supermarket has to place 12 items. So A to L, we will remember the letters, all the letters from A to L. In shelves numbered from 1 to 16, 1 to 16 shelves, we have numbered it. 5 of these items are biscuits. So 5 biscuits, 3 candies, and rest over here would mean 4 are savories. At most 2 empty shelves can have consecutive numbers, right? First statement says A and B are to be placed in consecutively numbered shelves in increasing order. No idea. But the only thing that we can understand is if you're going to place A at 8, B is going to be at 9. Consecutive and increasing order. B cannot be 10 if A is at 8. And if A is at 8, B cannot be 7. So A, B का sequence वही होगा जो पढ़ने में आ रहा है. ठीक है? But we don't know where A and B are to be placed, so we are going to ignore the first statement. The second statement says I and J are to be placed in consecutively numbered shelves, same as the previous statement. Both higher numbered than the shelves in which A and B are kept. So suppose A and B are at 3 and 4. Then I and J can be at 5 and 6. I and J can be at 8 and 9. But the sequence of I and J is going to be in the same order. Consecutive cells, बाजू वाले cells में लिखे जाएंगे एक साथ. And I is going to be a smaller number as compared to J because it's increasing. So this is what the second statement it tells us. We don't know if A, B, I, J, they all are consecutive. D, E, F are savories and are to be placed in consecutively numbered shelves in increasing order after all the biscuits and candies. So right now we know that we are supposed to put 5 biscuits, whatever, here B stands for biscuits, okay? Then there is going to be some empty space, maybe 1, maybe 2. Then we are going to place candies, 3 of them, and then we are going to place savories, 4 of them. Or the biscuits and candies may interchange because we don't know the sequence of biscuits and candies. But one thing is for sure कि savories last में ही होगा. And out of those 4 savories, 3 savories name are D, E, F, and they will be placed in consecutive number shelves in the same order. So either savories में we are going to have D, E, F, and we don't know if these are the last 3 या last में 2 shelf खाली है उसके पहले है. Nothing of that is given. Okay, so we are done with third. We know what we have to do. K is to be placed in shelf number 16. Okay. If K is supposed to be placed at shelf number 16 and K is the last item, can we say K is the savory? One of the 4 savories? And of course, D, E, F, they are going to be in the same order. There are 4 savories. Savories last में होने चाहिए. K is given that it is the last item. So K turns out to be savory. And D, E, F, they are going to be in the same order, increasing order. And they are also savories क्योंकि वो last में लिखे हुए. Third and fourth statement tells us this is the order. Now before D, there may be at least 1 blank or maybe 2 blank. We don't know that. कम से कम एक तो होगा, right? There is a gap between similar type of items. So I'm going to write down savories, 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 and savories. We don't know before that do we have biscuits or do we have candies. Okay? Let's read further. L and J are items of same type. And if you remember the second statement and the fifth statement, what we realize are I and J are placed in consecutive ordered numbers shelves. And L and J are of the same type. So L is also of the same type as I. So I, J, L, they all 3 are either biscuits or all 3 are either candies. इसमें से कोई आधा बिस्किट कुछ कैंडीज नहीं है, तीनों या तो कैंडीज है, तीनों बिस्किट है, because they are together, right? I don't know if L is right after J, that is not given, right? While H is an item of different type, so H is another item. Which one is biscuits, candies? No idea right now. So we are done with the fifth statement. C is a candy and is to be placed in a shelf preceded by 2 empty shelves. Okay. So if you are talking about candies, C is a candy and is preceded by 2 empty shelves. मतलब इसके आगे 2 खाली मिलेंगे. ठीक है? Now if C is a candy that we know, I, J, L cannot be candies. Reason being, if I, J, L are also candies and C is also candy, then there are 4 candies. पर candy तो 3 ही है. So we are pretty sure that I, J, L are not the candies. The next candies is definitely H because I, J, L they turn out to be biscuits. Because savories are already done. We are only looking for candies or biscuits, right? Done with the sixth statement. L is to be placed in a shelf preceded by exactly 1 empty shelf. So L जो है वो बिस्किट्स है एंड L will come in the front. Why L will come in the front? क्योंकि preceded की बात कर रहे हैं. Preceded as in before it there is going to be only one empty shelf. So wherever L goes, there is one empty shelf, and then we have I and J along with it. Now H is already a candy, right? We know that. Let's talk about A and B now. First statement. A and B are also going to be together. So they both are candies or they both are biscuits. If A and B, they both are candies, we will have 4 candies now. C, H, A and B. So A, B candies nahi hai. A, B, they need to be biscuits. So A, B will go in the same group, right? But we know that it was A, B, I, J. Agar first or second dekhoge, to A, B is written. After that, I, J is written in the increasing order. So we have now L, A, B, I, J. This is the order of the biscuits. There is one empty space before it. Okay, so we are done with this. Which is the last letter that we haven't taken care of? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G missing hai, so G is going to be candy. Now if we count, there are 2 empty places. Then we have 3 candies, so 5 here. Then we have 1 empty space and 5 biscuits. So 5 plus 6, 11. 11 plus 4, 15. But 16 jagah hai. So that means there is definitely one empty shelf before D. Now, candies and biscuits, they can interchange. Right? Why they can interchange? Because we don't know if C is to the leftmost or whether L is to the leftmost. Nothing of that sort is given. तो हमें क्या-क्या cases मिलेंगे? So let's assume that candies are at the beginning. So there are 2 empty places. Then we will have C, H, G. These are the candies. And then 1 empty place. Then we will have L, A, B, I, J. And then we will have 1 empty place. Now do remember H and G sequence is not known. The only sequence known is C is the leftmost candy. Right? So we can have from here we will have two possibilities, right? So we will have these 3 as candies and these 4 as biscuits. Okay. Next possibility is if we have D, E, F, K last mein, right? And then the biscuits are in the front with 1 blank and then L, A, B, I, J, and then 2 blank places for candies and then C, H, G, and then 1 blank before D. So H and G, they can interchange, right? And we are going to have these 5 biscuits, these 3 candies, and we will have these 4 savories, right? Do we have any other possibility? L and J are of the same type, so they will go together. Since L and J are of the same type and H is of a different type, so that tells us that L and J, since they are going to be biscuits, C is a candy. So L and J, they can be candies, right? No, because then L is ठीक है. We will see if more is required. ठीक है. Okay, the first question. In how many ways can the items be arranged on the shelf? So 1, 2, 4 or 8. So right now we are pretty sure that it's going to be at least 4, right? In the first case where candies are at the beginning, then biscuits, then savories, candies itself will take 2 cases. Next, when candies goes in the middle, so you will have 2 cases over there. So at least 4 cases are there. So we're pretty sure the answer is not going to be A or D. Now between B and C, let's see if there is an interchange between some candy types or candy items or biscuit items that can be rearranged. If no, then there are going to be just 4 cases. If yes, there are going to be more cases, right? Okay. दिविज हमें नहीं पता, दैट्स व्हाई वी आर टेकिंग बोथ द केसेस. मैंने HG लिख दिया पर ध्यान में है कि HG का सीक्वेंस वाज नॉट नोन, राइट? ओके, लेट्स रीड इट अगेन. A and B are to be placed in consecutive number shelves in the increasing order, and IJ they are supposed to be placed after that. Now I and J comes later on, and L is of the same type, right? So we can have AB here, and then we can have I and J later on. And since J and L are of the same type, this is one possibility. These three might turn out to be candy, and then H turns out to be biscuit, and C is a candy. That's not possible, right? Because C is a candy, so we will have 4 candies. It's given that there are 3 types of candies. So iska combination nahi ho sakta. Okay, any other possibility that can give us? L के आगे एक जगह खाली, C के आगे 2 जगह खाली. L and J are of the same type, so J comes here. J comes here, so I comes here. And if they come here, so H goes to the other side. A and B, they are going to be in consecutively numbered shelves. Now A and B can go here, but then this will turn out to be biscuits. No, C candy, so ye bhi candy. We can't have 4 candies, right? Okay, so we can't make any further combination among these, right? Okay, what about D, E, F are savories? We already know that, and K is at the last, and they're always at the end. So looks like we are not going to have more possibilities, right? 4 ही cases बनने वाले इधर, ठीक है? So 4 cases. Answer is C. Next, which of the following items is not a type of biscuit? Between A, B, G and L. Between A, B, G and L, A, B and L are biscuits, G is not. So the answer is going to be option A. G is not a biscuit. Okay, next, which of the following can represent the numbers of the empty shelves in a possible arrangement? कौन सा हो सकता है? There are 2 cases, right? If I take the first one, I can have 1, 2, 6 and 12 as the empty cells. If I look at the next one, I can have 1, 7, 8 and 12. So these are the 2 possibilities, 1, 2, 6, 12, 1, 7, 8, 12. Let's say which out of these 2 is given. 1, 2, 6, 12 is there, 1, 7, 8, 12 is missing. So answer is going to be C option. Right? It says can represent. Can का मतलब ही हो गया एक से ज़्यादा possibility होंगे, ये prepared रहो. And this can represent, the others will definitely not. Next, there are 2 empty shelves between the biscuits and the candies. Is it necessarily true? Between the biscuits and the candies, there may be, there may not be. So not necessarily true, right? Okay. All biscuits are kept before candies. This is also not necessarily true. Biscuits may be after candies. There are at least 4 shelves between items B and C. Let's see. If I look at the first scenario, this is where B is, this is where C is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 items, no, 4 items between them, gap of 5 shelves. If I look at the next scenario, there are at least 4 shelves between them. Right? So the statement is there are at least 4 shelves between B and C. This is true. Items होता तो ये गलत हो जाता ये भी. Shelves तो पक्का से कम 4 है. Right? So option C. So that was the set. I hope it was okay, right? It was not a difficult one. There were cases that we had to find out. Next one. A new game show on TV has 100 boxes numbered 1 to 100 in a row, each containing a mystery prize. The prizes are items of different types. A, B, C, these are types of prizes in decreasing order of value. So A is more valuable as compared to B, and B is more valuable as compared to C, and so on. The most expensive item is of type A, which is a diamond ring, and there is exactly one of these. So A एक ही है अपने पास. It's a diamond ring. Okay. You are told that the number of items at least doubles as you move to the next type. As in B will be at least 2. Okay. And then C will be double of the previous B. Suppose previous B 2 ही था, तो C 4 होगा. If B was 3, 3 B's were there, C is going to be at least 6, right? 6 या 6 से ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है. It's not necessarily getting doubled, right? So C we can say is going to be at least 4. Similarly, if we talk about how many D's we are going to have, so D is going to be at least 8. So this is more like binary logic, right? Binary logic based puzzle है. Binary मतलब 2 यानी double होते जा रहा है. Okay, you're told that the number of items at least doubles as you move to the next step. We will remember this. For example, there would be at least twice as many types of B as of type A, and at least twice many types of type C as of type B, and so on. Exactly what we have written here. There is no particular order in which the prices are placed in the boxes. So it's not necessary कि B अगर रखा हुआ है तो line से. B can be in any order. The total count of boxes that contain the price B, there are going to be at least twice of A, which is at least 2 होगा. ठीक है? So having understood this, what are the extreme cases? Because there are going to be many possibilities, right? Extreme cases लेते हैं. So suppose there is one A, तो B कितना होगा कम से कम? What will be minimum number of B's we are going to have? कम से कम 2. So I will say that कम से कम बोला गया है तो एक काम करते हैं, 99 आइटम्स B ले लेते हैं और एक आइटम A ले लेते हैं. टोटल 100 बॉक्सेस है ना. So out of 100 boxes, one of the boxes has A and the remaining 99 has B. कोई दिक्कत नहीं. B is going to be at least twice of A. मतलब 2 boxes से ज्यादा, at least मतलब कम से कम 2 boxes होंगे, उससे ज्यादा भी हो सकते हैं. So I'm assuming पूरे 99. The other extreme value would be कि we will restrict it. A is going to be 1, then B is going to be 2, exactly 2. Then C is going to be 4. Then D is going to be 8. Okay. So we will keep a count as well. 1 box plus 2 box plus 4 boxes plus 8 boxes. Next, E is going to be 16 boxes. If you add all of this, this is going to give you 31. Then F is going to be 32 boxes. If you add all of this, this is going to give us 63. And if we put G, G is going to be 37 boxes. Abhi add karoge, this is 100 boxes. But the problem here is G 37 boxes means G boxes kitne hone chahiye the? At least twice of F boxes, which is twice of 32. 64 boxes G were required. But since we are getting only 37, yani ki G nahi hoga. G type will not exist. Remaining all of that is going to be F only. So one of the possibilities. So this is going to give us 69. So there are 69 boxes that have F. Okay. So from here, can we say minimum number of items are 2 and maximum number of items we can have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So minimum 2 types of gifts हो सकते हैं boxes में और maximum 6 types of gifts हो सकते हैं. Now when you're going to have minimum 2 types of gifts, that is true that there is 1 A and 99 B's, no other possibility. But when we're talking about maximum 6 types of gifts, then you will have 1 A and then you can have 3 B's and 6 C's and 12 D's and 24 E's and baki F. You can arrange it in that way also. It's not necessary कि सारा last का F ही होगा. So there are a lot of ways by which maximum 6 gifts in those 100 boxes can be arranged. But this is one of the possibilities. This means 6 is fixed, right? Let's look at the questions. What is the minimum possible number of different types of prizes? 2. Minimum 2 ही हो सकता है, A और B लिया जाए तो. Okay. What is the maximum possible number of different types of prizes? 6. Right? The second scenario that we have looked at, ये वाला scenario min का, ये max का. Next is which of the following is not possible? Not possible. There are exactly 30 items of type B. देखते हैं. A 1 है, B is 30. कितना हो गया? ये 1 है तो 2 से at least 2 तो है. Once this is 30, then we can have C, which is going to be at least 60. तो मैं इसको total 100 कर देता हूं. So 31 plus 69. Very much possible. We will say that the number of B's is at least twice of A's and number of C's is at least twice of B's. B अगर 30 है तो C 60 तो होगा कम से कम. बिल्कुल है. So this is very much possible. So this is not the answer. Let's look at the B option. There are 45 items of type C. So if you're talking about 45 items of type C, so out of 100, if 45 items are of type C, we are left with 55 items. 55 items में से A तो एक ही है. There is only one diamond ring, right? And that means the remaining 54 are B. So how is it possible that C तो कम से कम B का डबल चाहिए ना? B is already 54. And if you are thinking कि कोई नहीं, A is 1, B is let's say 2, and then C is 45. The moment we say C is 45, can we say D तो कम से कम 90 चाहिए? कम से कम. So if you add, this is more than 100 boxes now. So in whichever scenario, C cannot be 45 items, right? So I should actually, this is not going to happen, as in this is the correct answer. We cannot have C 45 items. This is not possible. Okay? So B option, B. Next, you ask for the type of item in box 45. So अपन बात कर रहे हैं box numbers की, box number 1, 2, 3 and so on, and we will have box number 45 and then it will continue, it will have up to box number 100. Now if I ask what item do we have in box number 45, instead of being given a direct answer, you are told that there are 31 items of the same type as box 45 in box number 1 to 44. Excuse me. So what they have told us कि 45 में क्या ये नहीं बता रहे, A, B, C, D ऐसा नहीं बोल रहे. What they have told us कि out of these, the first box number 1 to 44, there are 31 items. Suppose 45 में item है X. Then there are 31 boxes that have X from 1 to 44. And 43 items, same as 45, from 46 to 100. इधर में 43 items have X. Right? What is the maximum possible number of different types of items? Well, if I find out ये X जो भी है, ये कितना है? So we have 31 X's here, we have 1 X here, and we have 43 here. So 43 plus 31 is 74 plus 175. So can we say this X we have is 75? Now the moment we have X as 75, X के बाद, see X is not the letter we are talking about, X is just one of A, B, C, D, E, F. F से बड़ा तो हो नहीं सकता. I can't write F over there because I don't know if it is F or not. So I have used another English letter X. Since X is 75 and this is definitely not A तो एक ही है, ये तो हमें पता है. Then can I say the next one is going to be at least 150 times? पर हमारे पास boxes तो 100 है. So can I say this X is going to be the letter or the item, the gift that exists in maximum number of boxes? Since we need to maximize possible number of items, we are left with 25 boxes, right? So 25 boxes को कितना minimize कर सकते हैं? As in how many least number of boxes we can have items. So we will say A एक ही box में. B is there in only 2 boxes. C is there in 4 boxes. This is 7 total. D is going to be in 8 boxes. 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 5, 15. And then if we put E in 16 boxes, this is going to be more than 25. So we can't take E, right? That means this E is 75. You know? If E is 75, if we add all these numbers, this is going to give us 75 plus 15, which is 90. So अपन एक काम करते हैं, let's say D is 18. This is very much possible, no? That if A is 1, twice of A, B हो जाएगा, that is 2, at least that much. At least twice of B, that is at least 4 will be C. At least 8 will be D. I'm saying at least बोल रहे हैं ना, 8 की जगह 18 कर देते हैं. The moment I have 18 Ds, at least twice of 18, that is at least 36 E's we are supposed to have. Instead of 36, we have 75 E's. So can we say A, B, C, D, E, E, maximum 5 different items we can have if there are 75 items of a same type, right? So ये 5 हो जाएगा. Answer is C, right? So this is purely based on binary logic. Here, one thing was given that A is written once, and then B can go on from 2 से लेके 100 कुछ भी हो सकता है. If B is 2, then C can be 4, and C can be, sorry, B cannot be 100, it can be 99 at most, right? And if 1 is there, B is 2, then C could be the remaining 97, 1 plus 2 plus 97. ठीक है. Similarly, D could be from 8 to 1 plus 2 plus 4, that is 7. 7 हो गया तो ये 93 तक हो सकता है. As in, this lower range is getting doubled and the maximum or the range का maximum value, it's getting reduced by that. 99 minus 2 is 97, 97 minus 4 is 93, 93 minus 8 कितना हो जाएगा? 85, and this will be 16 to 85. That's what E is going to be. If you talk about F, F is going to be double of 16, which is 32, and 85 minus 16, which is going to give us 69. If we talk about G, the next letter, 32 ka double is 64, and maximum will be 69 minus 32, which is 37. This doesn't make sense, so we need to stop here. Here, the range ka jo smaller value hai, the what do we call that, is the minimum of the range, that is larger than the maximum of the range. So that means that G cannot happen. This is the range that we can have. Minimum 2 honge, maximum 6. So every question was based on this. Okay. For example, this question says there are 75 of a particular letter. So can we say 75 इसमें exist करता है, इसमें नहीं करता, इसमें करता है? 75 number, it exists in all of this. If I want to find out maximum possible number of items, I'll go up to E. If the question was minimum possible number of items, I will stop at B. कि B 75 होगा, right? So the entire logic was based on this particular series that I have written, which is binary logic series. Okay. So everybody can now unlock your free trial of our BYJU'S Exam Prep ACE CAT. Okay. So you can have your complete 3-day trial access. What you have to do is enter a mobile number in the app and you can start your free trial. The link to this is given in the description as well as in the chat. Okay. For those 3 days, you will be able to access everything. Please meet our CAT 2022 toppers. If you want to be one among them, you can join our new batch. It has not yet begun. It is going to begin very soon. And in this, you will be provided starting with tablet up to tons and tons of thousands of questions, a lot of mocks with video solutions, books to practice, GDPI and VAT sessions, recorded lectures, everything. Okay. And you can avail 90% up to 90% scholarship by writing a scholarship test. This test date is 11th of June at 11 a.m. Okay, make sure that you register for this. It's first come first serve basis. And you can download our app and attempt our daily section wise quiz test. This will help you improve your concepts in each of the 3 sections. And make sure that you attend these 500 most expected CAT questions. Okay. Thank you everyone. Thank you for joining. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our Instagram page and like our Facebook page. Hold on. Okay, Divij, you're talking about this case. As in B cannot be 75. That is true. Because if A is 1 and B is 75, C needs to be at least 150. So वो नहीं हो सकता. So we can have a minimum of 3, not 2. You are correct that you have figured it out. Minimum 3 and maximum 5 you can have, right? Because if C is 75, B could be at most 37. 37 plus 75 is good enough, right? वो अकेले 100 से ज़्यादा है तो B को और minimize कर लेंगे. So it's more like A is 1, B is going to be 24 and C is going to be 75. So minimum 3 items you can have and at most 5. Good, Divij. Good. ठीक है? चलो. Thank you everyone. I'll see you guys very soon with another session on LRDI or Quant. Until then, take care. Keep practicing.